sur les trucs franchement vraiment Here you are in BFT, normally it's in Bethany Investment Group, but this site is allocated for youth project called Best Future from Today. So Best Future from Today has started as a youth project, EPR youth project, but today it's difficult to know what is BFT. Some say project, others say training center, others say youth center, others used to say business center, due to multiple activities that have started following to the first project. So we are going to have short introduction overview of the project, how it started, how it's growing, and some results and successful stories. And after we have to visit one of the activities that are being done, which is audio recording studio and practice room. So we have so many activities that we are doing, but I think the time will not allow us to visit all of them. So this project, BFT, we started with BFT Youth Project. The project purpose was to provide hope and direction to youth between 18 and 26 years old through training and activities in unity, reconciliation, conflict resolution, family planning, and entrepreneurship. The project started in 2014. Main activities that were funded by PC USA, especially Presbyterian Women Thanks Offering. It was training, the training of youth in those activities: unity, reconciliation, conflict resolution, family planning, and entrepreneurship. So the picture is the one was taken 2014 near the big hall down there where the training was being conducted. So after the training, the second activity was the recording studio. As in the project was mentioned, you had to record testimony, music, radio program with the same purpose, with giving hope and direction to the youth. So the project training phase of the training was done successfully, and even the recording studio, as you will see, was equipped. Secondly, after the training and the recording studio, the funds were all used, but trained youth were already there. That's why among the trained group, they said they have to sit and discuss what should be the next step. The next step, the reason why some of people say it's youth center, it's because trained youth started many projects following to the training. Among the trained group, there was a group called Agape. This was a group formed of Presbyterian Graduates Association. So they said after graduation, we used to live in difficult situation, jobless, waiting many years. But they said we have to be grouped, we have to be together, to be united so that we can find out what to do, to find solution to our life. So they do many activities, but as a sample, here they were in Kirinda Presbytery, where those trained Presbyterian graduates decided to give facilities for families. They gave them around 150 insurance, mutual or something. Just facilitated them for medical insurance. So those are the families that are given. And here I was there as youth coordinator in EPR. This envelope has the insurance for 150 families. The second group that was trained was students. After the training also, the Students Association, PSA is Presbyterian Student Association. Also, they have started many activities where among those activities, there is activity related to evangelism, where they do some evangelical activities in different universities in Rwanda to impact other youth even from other churches. The third group was PAGE, Presbyterian Artist Group Exchange. After training them about hope and election, unity, reconciliation, entrepreneurship, they started also creating some activities. As you see, the one who is teaching others, Philbert Dushime, is one of the best EPR artists. Now he's trying to teach others. As you see, the one who is representing other students who are learning music, he have a class of more than 20. But as this is a weekday, it's difficult to find them because they are at school. Some are in primary and secondary school. Here there is training also for brass band members. The group number 4 is TMG, Tubake Media Group. So they said after training, as we have had some information that are very important and useful, we have to expand, we have to share the good news, to share information with others. So those who have knowledge or skills on media, they started having some radio program, online discussion, Facebook, Google, YouTube, and website. So this for media group. The group number 4 that were trained was a group of youth who are interested in sport activities. Because in the project, as we mentioned before the project, we said we have to see and go wherever we can find young people to attract them, to discuss with them, and try to see how we can play a role of mentor, but through the activity that they used to do. That's why I started with also sport group. Here there is children playing. This was the competition. We organized youth tournament. This was the final match where 2 parishes, one was Mbati from Lemera and the other one from Kamuhoza, were on final match in the nearest playground. Here is just to show the impact of football or match or sports. This is one of the EPR school, secondary school, that win for the East Africa tournament. So among the countries in East Africa, those young ladies, they got the first place. As we saw in most of the young people, they are found in choirs in our churches. So as in choirs we find many young people, we train also choir conductor and choir representatives, just to help them to organize youth choir, children choir, who can continue to be youth choir, and then be a choir composed of mixed young children and older and others. So this is one of children choir in Kiovu Parish. This is choir called Unity Choir. Here it was on stadium in the Tumande event. And this is family of singers choir, a choir mixed of young people, children, and all categories of Christian are there. The other number 7 group that were trained that is part of BFT is DTF, is Drama Team Forum. Today youth are motivated with doing or having so many initiatives. Even for our churches, it's difficult to have 1, 2 more initiatives. It confuses. So to help them is to organize them and give them space. So those who want to have a traditional dance group, they are free. Those who do sketch, they are free. Traditional dance for men, sketch and drama. So by training those groups, they started another group. Now is combining some from Kigali, Gitarama, Chiwe and Butare. Now it's called Shilo. They are having so many performances in different concerts and big events. The other one is AGPR. So we say for the impact, to have a good impact or good result, we have to train also youth leaders. This name was given by those who were there representing youth committee. Youth committee, parish committee, presbytery committee, by the time it was regions, and national coordination. They said they might have a group that will help to mobilize other youth by AGPR. This is called Association des Jeunes Presbytériens au Rwanda. Only committee members. Here was a training in Kiovu. This was the member on presbytery level, presbytery representative, and national committee. It was here at this BFT training. Then other group was Youth Entrepreneurs Forum. So after the training on entrepreneurship, we said those who have idea of starting small business or investment as in the training, they mentioned that even without big account, you can start with the idea. Here you can see some of them. This man is called Nathan. Nathan was one of the stewards or volunteer, because in the BFT we don't employ, we only have volunteers. But by creating their own business, they start being paid by the business they created. So Nathan was volunteer here for 6 months. Every 6 months we have 2 volunteers who come help us to work, but also to learn how to create or to start a business. Right now we have these 2. They are volunteers. So he has started I think there's 5 years. 5 years. But he's still jobless. So he said, I have to come in BFT and try to see how with BFT, with the training, we see some are creating jobs. And the other one is from, also they started for this month, they are new. Those who finish 6 months, either they start a big new business or they got employment somewhere else. So for the one who started was Nathan. Now he owned a restaurant. This was Gilles from Kiof and Drama Team. They started at the same time. But this is still existing. This business have disappeared. So we start with a list, starting without starting money. Sometimes there is failure. But in BFT we say you have to give the best you have. Jackson, I mentioned this Jackson. He was part of the group that was trained. He was working by that time at reception and Kiofu, and you know him. Today he's branch manager. But after the first training, as you saw the first picture, he was part of TMG group. He was part of media group. We were together because we were working as volunteer at Radio Ihora Mutima. So after training, we said, no more spend our time working freely. With idea, we can start. So I started the company called Push that provide IT consultant, and Jackson started this business. I think if you see those bus, most of you know where the place, this was at Memorial. So the idea of Jackson to create this business came from BFT training. So we have some other youth entrepreneurs that were trained. As you see, even those things that are down there, they are made by trained young people. Group number 10, we said we don't have to be limited only to young people, but also cooperatives, because we want to promote them, we want to help them to be grouped together. So as I told you, this started restaurant business. And Gilles started another one in Gikono. After the failing of this, after analyzing the situation, we found that starting with the raw funds, it's somehow a problem. You don't have money to pay location, you don't have money to pay employees. So the reason from Ndori with Nathan called other group members from Agape and the Student Association. They made a group called Youth General Services, and they started restaurant business. So everybody contributed around, Marcel, do you remember the amount? 100 for the list and not more than 500 for the one who have more shares. So they started the business and it's running very well, and they think of having some branches in different places. So this is a group of young people also in Evangelical and others that are working in a cooperative. So for one person it's difficult to have at least even one machine. But when it's a group with raw funds, it's easy, and the idea increase with the number. So the other who say that BFT is like a training center, it's because after the training, the trained young people are still continuing to give some other training. So we provide the trainings also in 10 different areas. So we give training on evangelism, evangelical initiative promotion. We know our church are good at evangelism, and we have educated pastors and bishops and others. But today, youth, they want also to hear even the word of God in taxi, with the headphone, in sport during match, watching Manchester United, being in England while they are in Rwanda, but also listening to music. So we started having different kind of evangelism for youth, especially for students and graduates. As we said, we have to go there and we offer health insurance. But by the time before giving the health insurance, we organize evangelical campaign. And those who want to have benefit from health insurance, they are supposed to attend. So in the evangelical campaign with artists and others, it's run very well. Second, creativity, innovation, and fundraising. So what we train youth is to be creative, more creative. Today you can find one job vacancy or job opportunity for one person, and more than 5,000 applications can be found. Some exams are being held at the National Stadium because of many skilled people but who don't have job. What we are doing is to motivate them and to start having small initiatives, to be creative, to do whatever they want, but which can be growth. But we help them also as mentors, to help them to see, to direct them in the way it must be done. Generating income project. As you saw, we have many initiatives, but funds, it's a problem. That's why we focus on this, and we train only 2 persons. So after big training, those who are interested, they come and we select them and we train 2 by 2. As I told you, those are being trained. They started, I think, it's in this month. Those who were trained before, there were, even Philbert was there, and he joined BFT after school, after 1 year as without job. In 6 months that he spent here, he started the initiative of music school. So we had instruments for praying in parishes, in church, but he said we use only those piano on Saturday and Sunday in service. Why the rest of 5 days use them for a small business? Music teacher and other. So we said also we have to promote music, arts, and choir coaching. By having good music, I think we've had that like in United States. They said 10% of the income is generated by arts and intellectual properties, like things like that. So we said, why our choir? Really, they are singing in the parish. Congregation are benefiting from the choir. But why other artists, we call secular artists, are performing but also generate small income? So we train choirs also to have good music. We coach them and try to see how they can have good music that can be sold itself. As you said, the best is always the best. If you have the best music, even the radio and TV can buy that. The other activities that we train and we facilitate people is leisure, sport, and competition. So it wasn't in the case in our country in early years, but today you see when people are in the old age, they start thinking about their life and they start doing running, sport in the morning or evening. But we say for you, for having a best future, we have to be busy with job, but also we have to think of our life. That's why we are motivating them to be in different sport club, football, volleyball, running, gym, and others, and we organize competitions. The other one is public relation and advertisement. Yeah. After having started different job and activities, we said we must try how to communicate or to give the public, the view to the public. That's why we started a website and a radio program also to make known our activities. So as they said, we have to be quick as possible. The training for human rights and advocacy, energy and environment management, health and social welfare. So those who said BFT as a business center, it's because also after training on entrepreneurship, all those trained group, they said they were committed to start at least one generating income activity. In short, those are some of the activities are done around only this place. But wherever you will go in Presbyterian Church, you will hear the group called Ejo Heza. Ejo Heza, it's in Kinyarwanda, say best future. So we have Ejo Heza Ramba, best future. Ramba, that is in agriculture. We have Ejo Heza in Kabarondo. They are having different agriculture activities, and we have cows and others. Even in Irube there is a group Ejo Heza. So around this place, within this building that we are going to visit, we have the site for audio production. We have also music school and practice room. So we have one site, audio production, that was in the project, and we are really thankful for PCUSA, PW Thanks Offering, for providing all those instruments that are in the recording room. And also we have music school and practice room with few instruments that were there for practice, because in the project, BFT project, starting, the main project was training and audio recording. But as I told you, with feedback said, with some instrument we can also try to have a music school, and those who ran, they have to practice. So we started to increase the instruments, and we have some others who try to give us instruments also from Germany, for Great Peace Orchestra, and sound system, and we have sound system also. So as we are going to visit, it's time, so let me close. So all those activities within this area, they are done in this place that you are going to visit. We have the restaurant also with some office on the other side that we are not going to visit, but you can have a view wherever you pass there, you will see on the other side. And we have this for video recording, video production. It's in Gikondo in the center, because this place, it seems to be hidden. And this is the new, where we are about to start the decoration company. So, with Best Future, today what we need is youth development funds. We found that training people, it's good, but to start is something different. As you will see on the website, we have so many initiatives and business projects well analyzed that we can start immediately, but we are missing around those funds to start business. Wherever we can find, if we can have a bank that can give us a loan, if we can have sponsors that can give us grant that can be paid later, wherever we will find those money, we start more than 100 business projects for a big number of jobless youth in our country. So what we can do with those funds can be used for investment. As I told you, we have many business ideas to help our young people. But without money, without starting money, it's bringing us the loss. For instance, for the cameraman, if he can find a job that can pay 100,000 Rwanda per day for wedding, for anniversary, so he have to pay 70,000 for the camera for rent. So we stay on with 30,000. But by having these funds, by having money available to buy our own instrument, immediately we can reimburse those money. This can help also for youth initiative promotion. Youth initiative can be promoted. Because when you have initiative and you don't know where to start, it's somehow difficult. And we are planning to have a big general service company for youth, where in different areas we will have specialized people. As I told you, we have graduates, we have students in different domains, and we have even young people who are doing entrepreneurship. So thank you. All those activities combined together, the motto is that the best is the best. We have to provide the best. Whether you have something or not, we will continue. And our vision is the word transform by giving the best we can. By giving what we can, we will achieve more. And we hope to lead the change for holistic development in the world through evangelism, creativity, innovation, investment, and best service provided on the right time where necessary in today's technology. We thank you very much. And the next and last, we have to can visit, or if you have questions or ideas, you are welcome.
Thank you, Brother Epimaque. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Maybe it will be good. I don't see Mark. Where is Kathy? Maybe it will be good to visit the studio.
We do need to do that, yes.
Yes, and maybe through what they will see, it will be a time for questions.
Paula, have you seen Mark?
Yeah, in the music studio, there is a group performance, and we are there on the other side the recording.
Okay.
Perhaps someone to tell us when trials come here, they can produce, for example, DVDs, and they can tell them also and take money for supporting some projects. And then you are represented in all councils of the church, from the parish to the top, General Synod. I think that is also something.
Yeah, the youth are well organized in our church, and even there is a week allocated, the second is allocated for youth activities, doing everything the parish, preaching, choir, protocol, reading, everything. And the youth organization committee, we have committee on parish level, on presbytery level, and even on national level. And even in church organs, General Synod there might be youth representative and youth delegates.
I just want to say, when somebody fills out a proposal for Presbyterian women, how is this project going to be sustained is always one of the questions. And I'm sure that Epimaque didn't foresee all of the dimensions of this project. So he mentioned that the thing that PW funded was primarily the training, and that the recording studio was part of that project. But I think it sounds to me, and Epimaque is a big thinker with lots of vision and lots of ideas, that that money that came from PW became the springboard for many other ideas that have evolved out of that, so that the problem has become sustained in really amazing ways, and that Presbyterian women would be really grateful to know that. So,
in addition to that, you know that the music somehow is it's a healing process. You know, those youth, in connection with the theme we had about reconciliation, through the music, through this connection with the studio and the practice in music, there is a healing process. There is also a reconciliation process within the youth for best future, as the t-shirt is good.
One other thing I wanted to say was one of the spin-offs also has been a huge social network that it has evolved among the youth, using all different types of communication media, the internet, to keep track of businesses that people have started so that the youth can support each other. So social media has become a really important piece of that. And Epimaque kind of alluded to this, but many of the youth in Rwanda are struggling because of the history of genocide, because maybe a member of their family has recently returned from prison, because some of their friends, you know, it's like a child, either their parents were a perpetrator or their parents were a survivor. There are lots of emotional impacts. The economy is growing here, but as Epimaque said, you may get, 5,000 applicants for one position. Yes. So it's just not realistic that people are able to find jobs. So a major thrust of the proposal was to give young people training, to give them hope, and to also encourage them to start their own businesses, because if they sit around waiting for government to employ them, they might never be employed.
That is why vocational trainings are very, very important for helping the youth.
Okay, are we ready to go down?